Hello everyone, welcome to the first video in our new Ubuntu Mini Tech Tips series. These tutorials are based on Ubuntu 20.04 or later and cover the desktop and server series. In this series we're looking to provide quick configuration and setup tips to everyday tasks that you may need to complete. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so you can see we've just SSH'd into our server here. And we're going to do install a DHCP server onto this box. So this will allow our host here to act as a DHCP server and offer IP addresses out to your local network. And we'll do an sudo apt-get update. Just update any existing packages on the box that need to be updated before we install DHCP server. Okay, so you can see there's nothing there really. So we'll do sudo apt-get upgrade. Again, we're pretty much up to date already here, so let's just hit clear and we'll go ahead and we'll install a DHCP server. So it's sudo apt-get install isc-dhcp-server -y and return. It's really all we need to install. We just get on with configuring this in a moment once it finishes its install. So the config file is etc dhcpd.conf and we'll just get to that now. So just type clear here quickly. Okay, so first things first, we want to set a static IP on our box using the Yaml config file in Ubuntu 20, and later they changed the network setup to use a YAML based config file. So we're just going to set 192.168.4, say for example, .55 as our address, and our gateway is 4.1, and we'll just hit apply there, and we'll do a net plan apply. Sudo net plan apply even. Okay, so once that's done, okay, so now we're going to go ahead and edit our DHCP conf file. It's in etc dhcp/dhcpd.conf. So we'll just do a nano -w in there. Okay, it's the default config file. There's a lot of options in here. We're just going to scroll down. There's an initial sample config, and we can simply uncomment the comments from the front of it and then change the addresses to match ours, and we should be pretty much ready to go. So we'll just uncomment these and then we'll change the ranges to match what we're looking for. Okay, just take that last one out at the end of the bracket. And we'll head back up and we'll change our subnet to match our 192.168.4 range we're going to use for this demo. So 192.168.4.0, and our net mask we just changed to 255.255.255.0, just a class C, so giving us 200 and something addresses. And we're going to say we're going to have a range of addresses we're going to assign to hand out from this DHCP server. So I'm going to do maybe 192.168.4.50 to say 192.168.4.100, giving us 50 addresses in our DHCP pool to hand out to our clients. We're going to specify what name servers we want to use. If you had an internal DNS server or domain controller, you'd usually list that DNS entry here, either via IP address or host name. So we're just going to use Cloudflare's DNS here. I think it's 1.1.1.1 and 9.9.9.9, or equally you can use Google's servers as well, whatever suits your needs. Okay, the option domain name is just the suffix that'll go on the client name with the DHCP after it registers. So we'll just use something .local here. mydomain.local we call it. Okay, so subnet mask, which will be 255.255.255.0, just bog standard class C network. The default gateway address, which will be our router or our default router on this network, which will be 192.168.4.1, and then the optional broadcast address, which is the last address on the subnet, which is usually 4.255. Then the default lease time 600 seconds and the max lease time 7200. We can just leave them as default. There's no need to change them, they're fine. So we'll just save that. So now we're just going to see if we can start that service. We'll just do a sudo systemctl status isc-dhcp-server. This will just let us know if it's started or not, if there's any config errors. There's none, we haven't started it yet, so that's why it's got a failed message there. So let's go ahead and try and start it and then see the status and see what we get. So we'll do a sudo systemctl start isc-dhcp-server.service, and now we'll check the status of it as well with the status command. And oh, we do have an error here. It's telling us there's an error in our config file. We'll just check that. Okay, so let's just edit our config file or etc. dhcpd.conf file again. We must have a typo in here somewhere, so let's just flick back over to that and then we'll try restarting it again. So okay, scroll down and just see. Okay, I think we had uncommented those in a previous test, so they should remain commented out. Okay, so let's just save that file and we'll just try starting that again. Now we've commented out the other entries, so let's do a system start. Okay, and then a status. As you can see, it's now up and running and listening. So now next thing we need to do is we'll just configure test client to see if we can get an IP address, and then we'll check the status of the server to see what address it's handed out. Okay, so we've just booted up a quick Windows 10 test machine on the same network as our new DHCP server, and we're going to log on now and see if we get assigned an address and if that address has the parameters. So we've just logged in. This is just a small virtual box test VM running on the same network, so it's perfect for demonstration purposes. Okay, so we'll open a command prompt. We'll see what address we're given. Okay, so let's just do this cmd. Okay, so if we do an IP config here, space /all, I think. See, we've got an IP address of 4.50, which is the first in our pool. Our domain suffix is mydomain.local, which is what we configured, and our subnet mask and the default gateway also match. Let's just do a /all here just to see the DNS entries and stuff as well. Let's make sure that they match. Okay. Okay. So you can see there that it's got our correct suffix. It has the correct IP address. It's correct subnet mask and the correct default router or default gateway address, and the DNS servers we configured are there as well. Okay, let's just flick back over to our DHCP server and see if we can't see that client has been assigned. We just exit here and we'll just flick back over to the Ubuntu DHCP server. That's the MAC address of our NIC in our Windows box, and we should see that listed on our Ubuntu box. This entire tutorial is being done on a virtual box, as you can see. So here we are. Let's just flick back onto the console and we'll run a DHCP lease-list, and you can see there the MAC address of our Windows test PC and the IP address of 192.168.4.50 and its NetBIOS name and when it's valid until. And that's it. There's a myriad of additional options and stuff you can add, but this is an easy way to create a DHCP server on your Ubuntu server for use on your network if you haven't got a device already performing those services. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe.